These are my favorite options strategy, and in today's video, I'm going to take you through them step by step and teach you how you can use each of these to make money in your portfolio. Now, I know options can be tricky. This is why it's so important to understand the different concepts and the different strategies of trading options, because depending on the situation, the market, or just your own personal goals, you'll need to follow different strategies. Now, when starting out, my suggestion is that you learn a few different strategies and get a good understanding of how to use each of them in real world situations. And after a while, you'll see which strategies work for you and which don't. Now, I say real world situations because learning something on paper or through a YouTube video like this, especially in options, is way different than putting it into practice. Trust me. So we're going to go through my top 5 option strategies that I personally use, from my number 5 choice all the way down to my favorite strategy. By the way, if you want to see some of the trades and investments that I'm making in my personal portfolio, I have left the link down below to that. I'm not one of those guys here on YouTube that will promise you massive gains and unrealistic expectations, but if you want to take a look behind the curtain on how I try to make some of my money, come join me on the other side. Link is down below. All right, let's get into it. Welcome back to Pandrea Finance. My name is Alex Pandrea, and coming in at number 5 on the list is using options to enter and exit stock positions. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Alex, how do you use options to buy or sell stock? Well, you're a curious one, aren't you? Well, if you didn't know, options were essentially created and still used to this day for very much that purpose. This is what the big institutions use. This is what Warren Buffett uses. If they want to buy a stock, they would use options. If they want to sell out of a stock, they would use options. So how do we do that? The answer is by selling options. You might be familiar with buying, but if we sell, we have a lot of advantage. See, when you sell options as the option seller, you take on the obligation of having to buy or sell stock at a certain strike price. So let's say that you sell a call at a higher price than the stock is trading. Well, usually the idea is that you don't want the stock to hit that strike price, because if it hits that strike price, then you will be forced to sell your shares at that price. When you sell a put, you usually don't want the stock price to drop below your strike price. If this happens, then you will be forced to buy shares at this price. Now, when your intention is just to sell options to collect premium, you don't want the stock to hit the strike price. But if we take a look at selling options from a different perspective, you'll see that we can actually take advantage of wanting the stock price to hit the strike price. So let's say we want to buy stock in company X. It's trading right now for $22 per share. A lot of people would just buy stock at $22 and call it a day. Now that's fine, but we are missing an opportunity to make some extra money. So this is what you would do. You would sell a put lower than the stock price, but still close to it. Let's say we choose a strike price of $20 or $21, which is close to $22. You sell that put contract and collect a premium for doing so. Now you are hoping that company X trades down slightly and actually hits our strike price by expiration, because if this happens, then we will be forced to buy the stock, which is what we wanted. Boom, now you own the stock and you got it for even cheaper than you were going to initially. And you've collected a nice little premium on top of that, which is basically free money. So there you go. Now remember, to you, it doesn't matter if the stock goes down a little bit and you lose value on your long stock side, because you are in it for the long term. Okay, so now let's say many years go by and you want to sell out of company X because it has tripled in price. Are we just going to sell out of our position? No. We are going to now sell calls on our position so that we can exit our stock, but sell at a higher price and again collect premium. So now company X is trading at $60 and you decided you will be okay selling your stock at, let's say, $63. Remember, you're already way in the profit, so that it doesn't matter. But if you can sell at a higher price and collect a premium, then it's a win-win all around. You sell the $63 call and collect a premium. Now when company X hits $63, you'll be obligated to sell your position. Boom, you sold your position, which is what you wanted to do, and you did it like a pro. Alrighty, moving on to number 4 on the list, selling covered calls and reinvesting. I put this at number 4 because it goes hand in hand with the previous strategy. When you own stock in a company and you have at least 100 shares of that company, you can sell covered calls on your position, and instead of using these options to exit your position, you are going to use them to collect premium. Now, this is one of the most popular methods to collect passive income on your portfolio, and in fact, the returns that you can make selling covered calls beats dividend investing or any other income method generated from your portfolio. So how are we going to do this? Well, the first rule of selling options, in my opinion, is to trade based off of probability of success. Now, every brokerage platform out there will calculate your probability of success, or sometimes it's referred to probability of in the money. On Robinhood, for example, you can see very clearly that when selling options, it tells you how likely you are to win that trade. I like to start with a minimum of 75% and only sell options with a higher probability than this. Ideally, you'd want to be at around 84%, which technically is a 1 standard deviation move for the stock. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into the probability around options, you can click right here to watch a full video on that. I suggest you do. So, selling options is less about emotions and more about probability and consistency. So let's go back to our previous example of Company X. We own the stock and are holding it for the long term. Now, you can just set it and forget it and come back in 20 years, but what's the fun in that? You want to make some money along the way, right? So let's start selling some covered calls on Company X. Let's say that the company is trading at $40 and you say to yourself, I don't think that the stock will reach $45 by the next month. So I am going to sell a covered call with a strike price of $45 and with an expiration date of 1 month away. Boom, you sell that option and collect a nice premium. Now, if the stock does not reach $45 by expiration, which based off of the probability, it won't, right? Because we're working with probabilities, then you get to keep your entire premium and your stock as well. Win-win. Now, what do? Well, we repeat the process, doing it again and again each month, collecting as much premium as possible during the lifespan of us holding that stock. So next month, the stock is now at $43 and you sell a covered call with a strike price of $47, collect the premium, cha-ching, and the next month, repeat again. You get it? Now, the last step of this strategy is to reinvest the premium collected back into the stock. A lot of people miss this step and just use the premium to buy things like a candle collection or a golden pineapple. But not you, right? Now, the whole point of investing is to create a snowball effect, and that's going to be hard to do if you keep taking out and spending your profit. You want to use that profit to reinvest and grow your portfolio bigger and bigger until you're rich. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey Alex, how do you know all of this? How do you know all these strategies? How are you so knowledgeable? Well, the simple answer is I learn a lot. I love learning, not just about options or finance, but about everything. This is where today's video sponsor comes in, Skillshare. Skillshare is an amazing platform where you can use premium classes to take your skills and knowledge to the next level. There are amazing masters of their crafts on Skillshare that are willing to do just that. Share their skills with you so that you can accelerate your progress with immersive content. Members of the Skillshare community can access content that teaches them how to fast track their knowledge and give them the cutting edge. And in all honesty, it's one of my favorite ways to learn. I was initially interested in joining Skillshare when I was on my journey to becoming a savvy investor. I found immense value in learning from the course How Not to Suck at Stock Investing 1 and 2. The great thing is that I am able to give the first 1,000 people to use the link down below a free month of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it. Okay, Alex, these are great so far, but what happens if my stock gets called away while selling covered calls? Then what? Well, that's a good point, which is where my number 3 strategy comes in. Oh, you got an answer for everything, don't you? Okay, so my number 3 strategy on the list is the wheel strategy. Sounds very professional. All right, let me start off by saying that I love this strategy for the simple fact that I am constantly collecting premium no matter what happens, but I also do want to say that I cannot guarantee that you won't make more money just buying and holding the right stocks. A lot of people like to equate selling options to picking up pennies in front of a steamroller or something like that. And at times you might feel like that too, where you're like, ugh, I'm only collecting $50 for selling this call. I get that, and even though that might be true if done consistently over and over and reinvesting, you'd be surprised at how much profit that could actually turn out to be. Again, it's hard to compare just buying and holding stock to options because it's a completely different approach to investing. But if you feel that it's right for you, then I think you'll like this strategy a lot. So the wheel strategy, what is it? The wheel strategy consists of having enough cash to start selling cash secured puts. That is step number one. You sell puts on the stock that you think might go up in the long run at a strike price a little bit below the current stock price. You do this over and over again as many times as possible, collecting as much premium as possible. Now, at some point, the stock price will drop below your strike price and you'll be forced to buy the stock as per the agreement of the contract. Okay, so now you have the cash because you have the cash secured puts, you buy the stock. You now own the stock, and now what do? Well, we're going to go through the wheel strategy by selling covered calls on your stock. You will sell these calls with a strike price above the current stock price. And again, each week, each month, we are selling these calls and collecting premium. Boom, okay, good. Now, hopefully you're doing this and the stock is rising at the same time. So your long position is also increasing and you're selling covered calls as it's going up. Now, eventually the stock will hit the strike price and you will be forced to sell. Okay, that's fine because it is part of the strategy, because now we are going to start that whole process over again, completing as what we like to call the wheel. Get it? And the process goes on and on. So we sold our stock, now we have the cash. We're gonna use that cash as collateral to sell cash secured puts. We're gonna do that as much as we can until we are forced to buy the stock, so on and so forth. You do this forever and ever, and constantly collecting premium. So if you are a fan of just that juicy theta decay, then the wheel strategy might be right for you. Let's talk about leaps. Leaps is my second favorite option trading strategy, and in fact, I don't even put it in the category of option trading, but rather more investing, because it's more of a long-term approach to options that can actually mimic long stock positions, but you can make way more profit using leaps rather than just holding shares of a company. Now, there will be pros and cons in each, just like with everything. Not one strategy is perfect, but through my personal experience, I have found a lot of success with leaps options. In fact, it is a big part of how I made over $1 million in my Robinhood account back in the craziness of 2020. Okay, so what are leaps? So leaps stands for long-term equity anticipation securities. These are any option contracts with an expiration date of 1 year or more. So when looking at the expiration dates on your option chain, if the date is more than 1 year from the current date, then that would be considered leaps. Now, what makes leaps so special? Well, the first advantage is that they expire so far out into the future that you don't have to worry about theta decay in your option. Now, theta is the rate of change in your option price through the passage of time. So if you have an option that is worth, let's say, $4, theta will eat away at that price every day until expiration. So if you have a weekly contract, that theta decay will decrease your option very quickly. But if you have an option expiring 1 or 2 years out, then the theta decay of your option is much smaller and almost unnoticeable. This is important because with options, you are always fighting time. And the easiest way to win that fight is to give yourself a lot of time. This lets your stock move and make profit. The second reason that I love leaps is that you can substitute your long stock position by instead buying leaps that are in the money. Now, in the money just means that the strike price that you choose is below the stock price. So if you had a stock that is trading at $50 and you want to buy an in the money option, you would look at maybe the $40 strike or the $35 strike. These are below the $50 that is trading at. Now, the reason that you would want this is to obviously be safer in your trade and not having to worry about your stock reaching a certain price. It's already there. Also, these options, since they are in the money, can be converted into stock. This is a lot of times what happens with CEO compensations, for example. They would get stock options that are in the money, and then when expiration date comes, they can convert these options into long stock and hold the stock. Now, probably the best reason to use leaps is that the capital requirement that you would have to put up when buying 100 shares of a company is drastically reduced when buying leaps. And when buying in the money leaps with a delta of 1 or close to 1, you can mimic the same returns as if you were holding that long stock but using way less money. Now, I did a whole video on this particular option strategy, so you know what to do. Click right there, watch it after this video. You won't be sorry. So with that being said, you can see there are a lot of reasons of why leap options are, I think, a little superior. Learn them, use them wisely, and go out and make some money. It is now time for my number 1 option strategy, my favorite way of making money with options, and that is, drumroll please, the iron condor. This strategy needs a whole separate video to fully understand. Oh, hey Alex, can you make a whole video on the iron? I'm glad you asked. I've already made one. You can click here to watch it. Okay, so let me explain what an iron condor is, and then you can go ahead and watch the full explanation of the strategy along with a bunch of my other videos. An iron condor is a trade consisting of 4 separate option trades. You are selling a call above the current stock price, and then you are also selling a put below the stock price. You are then buying a call above the call you sold, and then you are buying a put below the put you sold. I know this may look very confusing, especially in the beginning, but don't worry, it's quite simple once you get the hang of it, trust me. Now, the idea of setting up this trade is to make a bet on the stock trading between 2 points. So if I look at a stock that's trading at $100, I might say, hey, I think the stock will stay in between $95 and $105. Let me put on an iron condor trade, and if the stock trades between those 2 points by expiration, I get to collect a nice big premium. Now, just like selling options, we are using probability to determine our success with this trade. We are picking 2 points which it's most likely the stock won't reach and placing that trade. You are going to collect a premium on both sides, so double the premium. Once for selling a call and once for selling a put. Now, we are also paying a bit for buying a call and put for protection, but overall you will net a credit for this trade. Now, the reason that I love this strategy so much is that the risk to reward ratio is very good. You can make 10, 20, 30% just by using the strategy correctly. Now, the way that I use an iron condor is by trading only the S&P 500. By trading the index funds, not only will it give you the most liquidity possible, but it'll also be less volatile than your individual stock. And for my own personal preference, it's just easier to use. You might make more on selling options on individual stocks that have high volatility, but for iron condors, my opinion is that you stick with the index funds to consistently make a return. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I have set up my portfolio, and you can now track some of the trades that I am making using the link down below. Now, my goal is to give you a bit of insight on my thinking and my strategies, what type of trades and investments I am making. So if you like that kind of stuff, it would be awesome for you to come join the journey. So there you have it. Those were my top 5 option strategies. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, please ignore all the spam and bot comments down below. I don't have WhatsApp. I will not reach out to you to hit me up, but you know that already. Although I do read and try to respond to as many comments as possible. So do get engaged down below. Throw your comment. Let me know what you think of this video, of this channel, of me. You like me? You hate me? If you found something useful, go ahead, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Go watch my other videos right here, and we will see you in the next video. Pandrea, out.